Welcome to the Vikings Squad Show. Guess who's back? It's Reggie Wilson. The Care 11 Wednesday Spectacular returns in full force today. Let's get into it.
Skol! It's the Vikings Squad, sponsored by Game Time. Everything Minnesota Vikings, every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the land of 10,000 lakes, the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. It's time to gear up. The Vikings Squad Show starts now.
Yes, it does. Our Care 11 Wednesday show talking Minnesota Vikings and a surprising roster move yesterday that we will break down. Plus, joint practices begin today against the New England Patriots. And I counted 10 former Vikings on that roster. Plenty of beef to be had going all around. I'm sure Julie and Reggie will have that covered. They are here from Care 11. Let's meet the panel, though, today. Let's start with Ron Johnson.
I am Ron Johnson, former Gophers and NFL wide receiver. And I want to talk about why there's not only blowouts at practice, but there's blowouts at Reggie's house.
I'm Julia Daniels, sports reporter at Care 11. So happy to have Reggie back for a number of reasons. Number one, because we love Reggie. And number two, because this means no more 14-hour days for this girl. So we're very excited.
Hi, that's what you thought. Anyway, Reggie Wilson, Care 11 sports director, new dad brain, not really sure what's coming out of my mouth like 85% of the time. Getting cooked. Looking forward to seeing who's going to get cooked at practice today.
James Cook, by the way, just signed a big deal. That's a little breaking news. Today, we're brought to you by FanDuel. New customers at FanDuel can bet $5 and they can get $150 in bonus bets. Also, football season around the corner. Visit the FanDuel app today. Start planning your future bets now. NFL futures coming up at FanDuel. Lot to get into. We'll start with the breaking news, the big news. Brian Asamoah or Asamoah. I never really figured it out, and I don't know if I ever will now. Asamoah, I think that's where I was leaning, Reggie. Thanks for affirming that. Glad to have you back. By the way, what did Reggie miss while he was gone? Did he, other than his building burning down, what did Reggie miss while he was gone? By building, I mean Care 11.
Julia, you take it away first. What you got?
What did Reggie miss while he was gone? The inmates running the asylum. And a lot of Nudie McLaughlin coverage from Care 11. Like, who did that? Who talked about him on TV all the time?
Why did I leave you in charge?
Exclusively Nudie McLaughlin leading the sports segment at 10 o'clock.
I'll say Reggie missed the biggest charcuterie board I've ever seen at the Vikings games.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
that was a big one on Saturday.
Yeah, huge charcuterie boards everywhere.
Charcuterie? Is that how you say
What
it?
word are we saying here?
Charcuterie?
Charcuterie?
It's charcuterie.
Charcuterie?
Yes. Charcuterie?
There's a sneaky R.
Well, at
in
least
there.
I didn't say it like the dude from the Jets. I don't know if you saw
Yeah.
that on Hard Knocks.
We won't go there.
Totally different.
Wasn't that Quinnen?
Yeah.
It was it was one of their other linemen.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad try.
Did he miss anything else? Julia, called a bunch of young people really old, as she tends to do.
Yeah, but I was doing that before,
That's not really a new
I'm
thing.
nothing if not consistent, okay? Ron and I tied for the initials game.
Oh yeah, you missed the
Yeah,
initials.
that was
And
big.
everyone thought it was hilarious that we were in there together for like an hour, and then at the very end, Ron goes, "Oh yeah, we're on a podcast together." Everyone was like, "Wait, you guys know each other?"
I didn't want them to think that. Then they would try to make sure we didn't cheat on the game. So
That's
I had to keep it under wraps.
You almost messed around and won the initials game. It was entertaining. So, all right, Brian Asamoah, he's gone. Year 4, 3rd round pick. Probably one of the most puzzling descents of any recent high Vikings draft pick. And I guess we kind of had the same thing with Cam Dantzler, guys that flashed early. And if you remember the conversations we were having back in 2022, mean, we were saying Brian Asamoah, starting linebacker. Like, is he one of the top 3 players on the defense? And Brian Flores just didn't take to him. Didn't like him. Liked Ivan Pace way more. And now this was in 2023. I'm saying 2023 just didn't really work out, and he never found a way to get reps. Got passed by like Kamu Grugier-Hill last year on the depth chart. So kind of a predictable but surprising, like kind of diminished career for Brian Asamoah, Ron.
Yeah, and so it kind of started when the 3-4 defense kind of really started to become what it is with Brian Flores. And that was where you notice like he just didn't fit. It was a square peg. I've always said that, square peg round hole with certain guys. I think in a 4-3 defense, if he's just a true will linebacker that can play at depth, can drop in the hook flat, he's not a Sam, he's not a strong side linebacker, but he's definitely a weak side linebacker with speed. He's not a middle linebacker, and that's the problem in the 3-4 defense. You need 2 middles, and Ivan Pace fits that second middle better than Brian Asamoah. And it just sucks that when you get Eric Wilson back and then you draft Kobe King, who is literally, he plays and does everything that Blake Cashman does, and that fits their scheme better. And the minute they drafted Kobe King, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. I didn't think it would happen this quick, but I think it was a better fit to get him out of there now. Like you move on now knowing, hey, you're not in this 4 linebacker rotation with Eric Wilson, Kobe King, Ivan Pace, and Blake Cashman. Let's let him go get picked up by another team now, because now he has 2 weeks to potentially get picked up. Plus, other teams are going to go through their preseasons. Injuries are going to happen. So it'll be better to him than waiting to the very last minute and then he's scrambling to make a 53. Now maybe somebody picks him up. And, he gets a chance to go to, the Cleveland Browns or the Oakland Raiders. There's a lot of teams out there that could use a lot. The Colts, Cato June liked him when he was, when I talked to Cato June about him, we had him on the show. We talked about Brian Asamoah, and he said he really liked him. He was fast. He covered sideline to sideline. And, I think he reminds Cato of himself, smaller, undersized linebacker that can tackle. So he'll have to go to a defense like that. But, I think he'll land somewhere.
Yeah. Reggie, you came here in 22, right? The first, that was your first draft?
21, yeah. So
21.
I was here for the last year of Zimmer and then KO.
Man, time flies. It's possible, Reggie, that 0 of 10 Vikings draft picks in 22 will sign a second contract with this team, because Ty Chandler might get the Asamoah treatment here pretty soon, the way that's going for him. And Jalen Naylor is probably the best of the bunch, and I don't think he's a guarantee to come back either. I think that they could go 0 for 10 in that draft class in terms of like signing another deal with the team.
Call it one to grow on for Kwesi. It's just he tried some stuff. It just didn't work. He had his draft crush was a Caleb Evans. That didn't work out. And I think it should have worked out with Brian Asamoah. We were laughing at your tweet earlier saying that Asamoah missed the Ed Donatel defense, but I think he was a better fit with Ed Donatel, even though Ed Donatel wasn't a great fit with the Vikings. And so I think it's just tough when you look at all the guys that Kwesi took a chance on. I think, you kind of redeem yourself the next year when you pass on getting a guy like Jamison Williams in the draft, or even drafting Kyle Hamilton instead of trading back and taking Lewis Cine. I think you had your mind and your heart in the right place, and it should have worked on paper. Lewis Cine was a highly productive player at Georgia. You took a chance on what a lot of people thought was a first round grade on a cornerback that you end up trading to the Cowboys. And then you get Brian Asamoah, and he has the speed. And then Brian Flores comes, and he's mostly relegated to Matt Daniels and special teams. And so it's a really, really tough position to be in. You trade your offensive guard. A lot of people thought that he could have been a first-round grade if the character concerns weren't there. So there are a lot of things that just didn't go well for Kwesi in that first draft. But I think he's done better in subsequent drafts. It's just tough that only 2 of the 10 guys that you drafted are still on the roster. And like you said, Jalen Naylor, he came on great last year, finally healthy. Been talking about how he bulked up again this offseason. So he might get a lot of usage to start the season with Addison out and not really sure what is going on with Justin Jefferson. And so we'll see if he can earn another contract. But I mean, goodness gracious, it just doesn't look great for that 2022 draft.
Nope, serious carnage. Julia, your reaction?
I think it's unfortunate for Brian Asamoah because there's two different factors. Obviously, the changeup at defensive coordinator, and then the anomaly that is Ivan Pace. No one expected Ivan Pace to come in and be the player that he is, an undrafted rookie. And then he comes out and he's undersized. And it was just a surprise. It was a pleasant surprise probably for everybody else on the team except for Brian Asamoah. And so he was put in a weird position. I will say every single time that I'm out at camp and I'd see Brian Asamoah out there out at practice, this guy is an athlete. Like, I would argue he's one of the most like ripped guys out there. And if you see him playing too, I mean, he's fast, he's physical. Some team is going to want him. But I think, Reggie and I have had this conversation for about a year now about like, where does Brian Asamoah have longevity with the Vikings? Like, we just didn't see it for a very long time, especially since Ivan Pace joined the team. And so this was not something that I'm on the same page as Ron. We saw this coming. I didn't see it coming this soon, but I think that this is best for everybody, that they go ahead, they make the decision so that he can move on and go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. And then the other piece of news yesterday, Rondale Moore, we expected this as well. He's out for the year with a serious knee injury. And I don't think we've gotten details on the exact nature of the knee, if it's one ligament, two ligaments, or what we have going on exactly, medically speaking. But I think we saw the writing on the wall when he went down, the cart came out. Kevin O'Connell basically confirming after the game that it looked like a serious knee injury. So Rondale Moore out. Reggie, I mean, let's first just talk about Rondale. I mean, what does this do for a guy's career now? 2 consecutive seasons awash with knee injuries on separate legs.
My bad. It's tough, and I know Ron probably remembers as well. He was dynamic at Purdue, and like he was a joy to watch. And it just didn't work out all that well in Arizona. And last year, you talked about like, oh man, like they're really gearing up. They're getting all the weapons for Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, and then he tears his knee and misses the year. And you're like, man. And then the Vikings pick him up, and you're like, man, that might be actually a good value pick for the Vikings. They really haven't had any like dynamic returns in the punt return game. He was somebody who could have given them something, and also, challenged for that wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 spot coming back from that injury. Injures one knee last year, and now he injures the other, and it's just brutal, man. Because I know he had a lot that he wanted to give this year and really prove and show that, he's back and better, and you just hate it. You just really feel for a guy. It's tough. It's like sometimes with these injuries, they can go so many different ways. You tear a knee and you come back and you're good. You're like Adrian Peterson, you're better than ever. And then some people, you come back from a knee injury, you tear your Achilles or you tear your other knee or you re-tear the same knee. And it's just unfortunate. And a guy who is known for being so explosive and agile, you just wonder if he'll ever be the same.
Yeah, Ron, the secret sauce for Rondale Moore was yak. I love saying yak. He was 4th in yak average in 21, his rookie year. He was 2nd in yak average his second year. Like, this guy can make plays after the catch. And when you strip away, whether it be his mobility or you take it away even 10% of his speed with the knee problems, that's really going to hurt the main part of his game.
Yeah, Reggie's right. I mean, it's tough for back-to-back seasons like this, and so, and I think I don't know if I think I did tweet it. So when it happened, it sucks. Like when you're covering, like because I literally had just met him. Because I mean, Sam, I've been on my Big Ten victory tour. Of the Minnesota Vikings, of all the Big Ten guys in the locker room. And so me, Gink, Blake Cashman, Byron Murphy, Felton, and then Rondale Moore went walking by, and I'm like, yeah, man, I introduced myself, play for the Gophers, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, okay. I was like, yeah, man, I've covered you the last couple of years with the Gophers, man, when, Purdue, Ohio State game, and like, I'm pulling for you, man. And he was like, yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. And then you see him get hurt. and you got to report it because it's our job. And so I just kind of said, like, you could see the anguish in his hand movements. Like, he was just like, why is me, you know, for those watching on YouTube, you got to watch on YouTube, people. So if you're listening on the podcast, you're like, what is the hand gesture Ron's doing? Go to YouTube, search Locked On Sports Minnesota, subscribe with the email, and then continue to watch. But, you know, he kind of did the like, you know, like, I can't believe this happened to me. And so at that moment, you could see it's not just the injury, but I guarantee he felt like I can't believe I'm here again. Like, this happened again. Like, it just happened to me. And so, you know, one, is anybody else going to take a chance on him after this? You know, are the Vikings going to let him rehab and come back? Are they going to give him an injury designation and kind of part ways with him? There's so much business to this that sucks, and this is the part of the business. I remember being there. You know, the Ravens, I got hurt. Dumb me, you know, instead of like really rehabbing and do what I need to do, I forced my way back faster than I should have. And then the next year I ended up getting cut, you know, and I got cut kind of not fully healthy. Bears still pick me up, get hurt again. You know, again, don't do the work to like just rehab. Let the team pay for the rehab. It seemed like a death sentence to do that. But now that's the smart way to do it. Let the team pay for your rehab, stay there, be taken care of. And who knows, like, you know, maybe, you know, he'll have a 30 for 30, you know, that he comes back, or, you know, we'll be talking about this next year where Rondale Moore is just, you know, he was an injury away and he's out the league. And so that's the tough thing about this sport is you forget, and it didn't look bad. Like we talked about on the fan line, me and Nordo, and you couldn't see, like, it looked like a hip drop tackle, but it didn't look like it didn't look bad. It didn't look like his leg got caught, didn't like his foot, just like he hit the ground and something shook loose in his knee. And, you know, here we are.
It's like a freak thing.
Yeah, like, and you can't blame the turf because, again, like when you look, like his cleat didn't get caught, his leg didn't get pinned up under him. Like it was super weird, even because when it happened, everybody's like, "Wait, what? Did Rondale Moore just get hurt?" The whole press box. I mean, Julia probably heard it. It was just like it was a weird quietness. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How did he get hurt?
When he slammed his helmet on the ground, we were like, "What's happening?"
He was moving so fast to the sideline. He was trying to turn that corner. You know, a guy of his speed, he's probably going 20, 21 miles an hour. And he did stop, like, really on a dime. Like, the defender stopped him so quickly. That's hard. That's hard on the lower body.
Right,
and if you get twisted up just a little bit, that can cause some damage. So that was really unfortunate. I was there for that. I heard the hush go across the stadium. I'm sure you heard that as well, Julia and Ron, and brought the card out, guys on knees. That was not a good scene. We feel for Rondale Moore and Julia. You know, everyone now has to be an opportunist. Like everyone probably feels bad for their teammate Rondale, and yet you've got about 4 or 5 receivers that now see an opportunity. They see, hey, Jordan Addison's suspended. Rondale Moore is hurt. I can make this football team. And so the door is wide open now in these last 2 preseason games for people to make some plays.
Yeah, I mean, the receiver room with the Vikings is just always so interesting to me. But yeah, I mean, Lucky Jackson's looking for an opportunity. Jayshon Jones, Miles Price. I mean, he had a touchdown in the preseason game, and so there's a lot of opportunity to be had here. And Ty Felton too. I mean, Ty Felton still, I guess he moves up on the depth chart in that sense, and so this, unfortunately, is a good thing for him. But I think there's already so much competition in this room. I think that this just adds to it. Obviously, Silas Bolden is trying to make waves too. Thayer Thomas, Dante Fleming. I mean, there's tons of guys that are going to be trying to take advantage of the opportunity that comes, unfortunately, with Rondale going out, because a lot of our focus the past few weeks has been about Rondale and, like, how does he fit in? What is Matt Daniels saying about this guy? What is Kevin O'Connell saying about this guy? What does JJ McCarthy think of this guy? And now the topic's gone. And now we kind of have to shift our focus because obviously we know Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Naylor, but then after that, everything's kind of up for grabs. And so I'm interested to see how the rest of camp plays out. I'm especially interested to see at joint practice who's really going to stand out when there's another team on the field too. So I guarantee you these guys in this receiver room are fired up for this week, and even more so now because unfortunately there is more opportunity for them.
Great segue, Julia. We get into joint practices next. What matchup are you most excited for, and which former Viking, now Patriot, would you take back? That's next. We are brought to you today by FanDuel Sportsbook. August 26th. Circle it on your calendar. 13 days away. That's officially FanDuel Futures Day. Brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. Whether you're calling the MVP, long shot division winners, or crowning your Super Bowl champ before week 1, this is your moment. Parlay those division winners, put a handful of tickets together, and have some fun this season. You can follow it all year, all the way through December into January. Take a flyer on J.J. McCarthy MVP. What do you say? I think you get like 35-1. Visit the FanDuel app today. Build your futures bets now because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. All right, Julia, I'm guessing you're headed out to TCO Performance Center in a little bit. Joint practices at noon against the Patriots. A lot of good storylines. This is a Patriots team that's kind of in year 2 of its rebuild. They've got a new coach, Mike Vrabel. They've got a second-year quarterback, Drake May, who's taken a few picks before our guy, J.J. McCarthy. What are you watching for matchup-wise in this one, whether it's player against player or position against position? What do you want to see?
I think this will be a really true test for the Vikings secondary. I think finally we're going to see, especially that cornerback group, because they didn't play I don't think they played any of the starters from the cornerback group on Saturday. If maybe just a little
Rodgers, maybe. I think they played Rodgers for a drive.
But other than that, we haven't seen what this, and we've been talking about this for a while now about what is up with the Vikings cornerback room because they're so young. They don't have a ton of depth. So I'm interested to see how they pan out against this Patriots receiving core. I think that it'll maybe give us a little bit better idea of what this cornerback group is capable of and how these guys kind of fit in, especially their pickups that they've had this offseason. So that's something that I think I'm going to be keeping an eye out for this week, just because it's our first real look at how these guys fare against another NFL team rather than just a quarterback in J.J. McCarthy who hasn't seen a lot of NFL time. So, I mean, obviously they're matching up with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, but at the same time, I want to see how they fare against a quarterback like Drake May and his receivers. So,
Reggie, what do you got?
Man, I want to see if Brian Flores is taking anything personally. And he's, going to have – well, first off, I don't know if Diggs is going to be here or not. Some of the reports from what's going on up in New England, not really sure. But would love to see another snapshot of Diggs at midfield telling Brian Flores, hey, stop running zero. Like, I just want to see, because I have not been at camp just yet. Because the whole baby thing, but I heard that Jonathan Grenard has been a monster at camp so far, going back to his more is required at the end of last season. And so I'm interested to see what Brian Flores does against his former team and the things that he employs to try to make things tough and difficult for Drake May in that offense. Not sure if he's going to have Stefon Diggs out there, not sure if Hunter Henry's going to be out there. Not sure if Jalen Polk is going to be out there. So, you're looking at what? Kayshawn Boutte, Demario Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, maybe. Like, I'm not really sure if they're going to be able to challenge that Vikings secondary like maybe the Vikings secondary would like in these joint practices. But I do think it's going to be competitive because if we know anything about a Mike Vrabel team is he has them ready to play and they're always scrappy. So maybe we'll see a few fights. That'll be fun, right?
I was hoping Diggs would be full go. So Reg, you think there's some possibility that he won't, because of the injury rehab, that he won't be totally active for this?
Yeah, it's just been kind of weird. He's had some inactivity at camp, and so I don't know how much of it is injury related. I think all the people in Boston are kind of guessing like if it's like character related. The whole Stefon Diggs saga is always drama everywhere he goes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
I know
interesting.
he
Yeah.
didn't play in that preseason game, but they didn't say it was injury related. They said it was coach's decision that he didn't play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The drama.
So what's going on there?
Ron, what do you think matchup wise? What do you want to see today?
I want to see the defensive line. Like, so Vrabel in the Patriot way, you know, he's bringing back old school Patriot. I know, and I forgot who he got into it with, but he had a tongue in cheek joke with one of the players. I'm drawing a blank on who it was, but like at his presser, he said something like something. You can't do this to the player or something. The player was like, "Man, you don't know about this," and he was like, "You better go check the Patriots wall." And then the guy in the press, I was like, "Yeah, I checked it, and he's certified." I'm like, "Wait, you had to check the wall to know that Mike Vrabel is certified? Like, you should get cut just for that. Like, how do you not know who Mike Vrabel was for the Patriots? Like, that was the dumbest. Like, there's some interviews players do, and I wish they wouldn't say it. Like, you might have thought it, but don't say it out loud. Like, you should know who Mike Vrabel is to the Patriots defensive like history." And so anyway, I'm looking forward to, like, because, you know, they've been talking about like what Vrabel's been telling these guys and much is earned and all this stuff, and, you know, trying to get back to the hard-nosed football that Belichick had him under, and, you know, we're not wearing AirPods in meetings and at practice and all that kind of crap. Like, he's trying to get back to old school football. So I want to see the trenches. Like, I want to see Garrett Bradbury versus the Vikings D-line, and I want to see, you know, Fries and Kelly versus the Patriots D-line, and Donovan Jackson too, the new guy. We know what the tackles can do, but I want to see those three interior guys for the Vikings versus the Patriots defense. I mean, I know it's not the sexy pick, but I feel like that's the pick that potentially will have more fights. Like, I got it on the linebacker, running backs, and the D-line. I don't feel like I feel like the receivers and DBs like each other too much with this group. And there's gonna be some buddy Stefon, you know, Justin Jefferson standing around, and, you know, I was you were me, you could have been me, you know, Spider-Man meme, like with the point. Like, it's just, I just feel like there's no bad blood with this room. But I feel like the D-line, O-line, like they've got some pent-up aggression that they haven't been able to get out, especially the starters that didn't play in the preseason. They actually get to go live today and tomorrow. So I put that on the matchup of fights.
I know this is a football show, but just a heads up, Twitter is going to freak out for everybody because the poll ads are no longer selling the Twins. And that is going to make people really angry. So brace for impact. That is not going to go over well. So my guy,
they say they were selling it though. Sorry, like not to go.
Yeah. They sought out offers. They had one they thought was going to work out, and then they sold everybody. They dismantled the team, and the only hope that people had was that, well, at least they're selling, and now it doesn't look like they're selling.
Oh my God!
It's pretty significant. They pulled a Glenn Taylor. You know, Glenn whispered. He's like, "Hey, Joe,
don't do it."
Hey, Joe, yeah, don't. It's way better. It's way better for your image if you actually retract the sale." So I got Garrett Bradbury against, and really the whole interior of the Patriots line going against the Vikings interior of their defensive line. If I'm not mistaken, is Vidarian Lowe still on the Patriots? That's another 2022 Vikings draft pick.
Yeah, he's on there.
Yeah,
unless
he'd
he
be
got
part of the
cut
mix.
since the game. When I looked Sunday or Saturday after the Vikings game, he was on there. So unless he got cut today.
You might have a couple former Vikings next to each other. Bradbury at center. He's their starter, clearly. And if we've learned anything over the years, and I love the guy, Garrett Bradbury, but he's vulnerable. He's susceptible to big physical defensive lines. So if you can pass this test, all right, this is like entry level. This is elementary school. You're going to have better offensive lines down the road. But if you can pass this test with authority, that would be encouraging. I think it would be a little bothersome if you've been able, because what have we talked about for the last 2 weeks? Oh, the defensive line is killing the Vikings offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
J.J. McCarthy and Sam Howell have no chance. If suddenly the Patriots kind of make quick work of the Vikings pass rush and they neutralize what Brian Flores is doing, that would alarm me because we can't do it, but the Patriots can. That would be a little weird. So I want to see the defensive line act like bullies. I want to see them get after Drake May, make his couple days here not feel very hospitable. Quick one before we get to break. There are 10 former Vikings on the Patriots roster. Who would you want back of those? And I want you to take into account how much they're making. So yeah, it might be easy to say Stefon Diggs, but Stefon Diggs is also making like what, $20 million a year. So you
Don't care.
You don't. Okay, you're doing it. You're doing it. Ron. You want the Minneapolis Miracle reunion?
Him and Justin Jefferson, yeah. And then Jordan Addison. I mean, because honestly, I don't feel like people want him to stay long term. Who knows?
I want Dobbs sanity. I want Josh Dobbs back.
That's a good one.
Backup quarterback.
As the backup to JJ.
Backup to JJ. He knows the system already. Obviously, he's got some familiarity, got some mobility. Bring back the Pastronaut. Josh Dobbs.
I know. I was thinking that maybe have his brain in the quarterback room would be nice. What about Marcus Epps?
Yeah,
wasn't he
good
on the
one.
Vikings? Yeah, I feel like they could use him in the secondary. I know he's
that's actually great.
Coming off injury, but he's a veteran guy that they could probably use back there. Very vocal leader.
He was the 2019 draft class, and that's one that got away. Like they waived him, 6th-round pick, and then he's one of the few recent draft picks that got away, and I think you really regret it. Like he had a good run with Philadelphia, good run with Las Vegas, and now over with New England. Reg, who's your guy?
Diggs. Stefon Diggs. Bring him back.
You think Diggs over Josh Dobbs would be more impactful?
What?
It'd be great to have him in the room. I mean, he was a great soundbite, great guy,
Oh man.
Diggs
great guy.
So Ron, who's hanging around the front office from 2019? I mean, there's still a lot of people there on the business end that would maybe still have some of that beef with Diggs. Brzezinski.
Yeah, Brzezinski for sure would, because that was the money situation. I think that's really it, though. Like, I think everybody else would care. Yeah,
it's okay.
Like, I think the owners get it. But yeah, I'd say Brzezinski, because that was he held out first, got the 70 whatever million, then did the sickness thing with Kirk Cousins and didn't show up for practice. And yeah, so there was some, and he even admitted, though, he said, I handled that wrong. He said he handled it completely wrong. He took his frustration out on, on the team, and he shouldn't have taken it on the team, blah, blah. I was looking at coaches, though. Todd Downing is a coach for the Patriots.
He's been floating around the league a lot. Yeah. I hope he has a home at some point. Yeah, he was the
blood
OC for the Titans, I think. Didn't go well.
Yep.
Trying to get back there. Yeah, I mean, maybe Diggs has grown up. He's just relaxing on his boat, just having some nice company.
Yeah, we want Stefon Diggs back just so that Cardi B's at the games.
Lake Minnetonka would take Diggs.
I mean, isn't that over? Aren't they done?
Are they done?
I thought they were done.
He said he was focusing on football, so he didn't.
But then I feel like Cardi tweeted about them last week or something like that. Like she tweeted a picture of them or something.
Yeah, I don't think they're done. He just said he said all the off the field things took away from his football goals or something like that. Is how
I don't know if he was necessarily talking about her.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. He's talking about what she comes with, though. The parties, the nonstop up to 3 a.m. Because that one video she posted, remember, he was 1 a.m. in the gym working out.
Yeah.
They had been up partying, and then he went to work out. Because probably he was like, "Damn, I'm out here partying and on this boat. I got to get a workout in." So then she posted it as if "Look, young football players, if you guys want to be great, look what he's doing." You don't think they know that? They know what it takes to be great. You're new to this just because your baby daddy out there doing 10-pound dumbbell curls and he thought he was doing something, and then Diggs out there squatting 315 and cleaning 260. But anyway, yeah, no, I think he wanted to focus on because she's a partier. She goes out. That's she can have that life. And I think
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with 10-pound dumbbell curls, Ron. Some people do that.
People do it, but don't post it on the net you're getting gains. Don't do that, because that's not. I mean, I saw Paige Becker's squat 210 or something. You can't. Yeah, don't post that. Don't do
Is 210 bad? Is that a bad
No, that's good.
For an
That's what I'm saying.
athlete?
Like for like that's heavy for a woman.
Oh,
like,
okay. So don't post the 10s because
don't post the
some
10.
people-
Yeah, if you got like you got WNBA girls out here doing more than you, like you can't post that like you just did something. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw Kevin Durant is dating that really tall girl that used to be in the WNBA. Or not dating her, sorry. They were caught at the club together. Random, super random.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks for our gossip minute there.
You know, hey.
That's TMZ.
Cambridge.
On,
Cambridge, that's her name. Cambridge.
The Viking Squad show.
Forgot her first name. You know what I'm talking about? Julia, tall girl. She was a center. Cambridge is her last name. What is her first? I can't think of her first name, but light skin.
Do some
tall.
Googling. Do some Googling. While
it's Cambridge. Liz Cambridge.
Yeah, there it is. Liz Cambridge.
Reggie's on top of it. Reggie gets it. We'll be right back with bold predictions for Saturday. And we're brought to you by Yahoo Fantasy. Yes, it is the month of giving from Yahoo Fantasy. They are dropping 28 big new features over 28 days through August. And they're making the fantasy football experience like you've never had it before. You might be an OG like me, and you had Yahoo Fantasy back in the day, and it's evolving now. Guillotine leagues just dropped. Every week, the lowest scoring team is eliminated. The last one standing wins. It's like fantasy football Survivor. Killer new way to play, where the lowest scoring team, again, gets eliminated each week. There's one team left standing. You put the players from the eliminated team back into the pool, and then you draft those players. It's a whole lot of fun, I promise you. If you want to spice up your fantasy experience this year, get out of classic mode and do something really different, Guillotine League is fantastic. And, of course, you can still do it the classic way at Yahoo Fantasy. Head-to-head private leagues, join a public league, whatever you want. Stay tuned for more killer announcements. Start playing Yahoo Fantasy Football now. YahooFantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. YahooFantasy.com/LockedOnNFL. Reggie's back, which means Bold Predictions is back in full force. We got everybody here today on our Care 11 Viking Squad show. All right, Reggie, will give you the first crack because you are returning. Bold prediction for Saturday, and I think we gotta assume the starters aren't playing in this one. I mean, Kevin O'Connell's more or less confirmed it. He likes to get the work in and join practices. So, of the backup crew, the garbage time crew, make some bold predictions, Reggie, for Saturday, or just one big bold prediction, whatever you want.
Dang, I was hoping that you came to me before Ron for this because I'm gonna steal his thunder. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns from Max Rosemer, baby. Book it.
300.
Yes. Now pick something else, Ron. Yes.
Go ahead, Ron. Can you top it? Or you can go 350?
Oh, Max Brosberg, he took my thunder. Oh man, bold predictions.
He's such an easy guy to root for.
I know. I mean, I even said he was gonna roll the boat or do the watch if he scores. He didn't do any of it though. But I even said it on the pregame show, like I had him throwing 1 touchdown. I knew he'd do that. Let's see, Max Brosmer, big prediction. You know what? I'm gonna go with my guy Kobe King. I think this is the week now. So Brian Asamoah's out. Because if you notice, I don't know if you guys noticed in the game, the depth chart all week on ESPN had Kobe King ahead of him. But for the game, the Vikings had Brian Asamoah out there first. And I think they were trying to just give him one last chance. Can you outplay this rookie? Now that he's gone, Kobe King is going to get a lot of time out there now. So I'm going with like a Kobe King, either sack or interception.
All right. Like it. Julia.
I'm gonna go. I really am interested to see the running back battle between Xavier Scott and Ty Chandler. I think Ty Chandler had a huge wake-up call on Saturday when Xavier Scott came out and had the game that he had. I will say Will Hall, our coworker Will Hall, predicted that Xavier Scott would have a great game on Saturday. He was a unexpected surprise. Oh, that's redundant. An unexpected standout on Saturday. And so I'm interested. I don't know if I have a bold prediction, but I think that it's something to keep an eye on to see how Ty Chandler responds and how Xavier Scott hopes to continue the play that he had on Saturday.
Okay. kind of a sad trombone though on the bold prediction part. I mean, I think you got to say something like Xavier Scott, 150 yards rushing. So
Okay,
I'm going to take. No, you missed it. I'm taking it. I'm taking 150 yards.
Sad
I also was going to go. I was thinking maybe, you know how the Jaguars kicker went for 70 yards?
70 yards? Yeah.
I think Will Reichard tops him. 71-yard Will Reichard field goal. Book it.
Hey, I like that.
Book
Roll
it.
Tide.
Run him out there, baby. Run him out there.
Are you saying is he gonna make it or just attempt a 71-yarder?
No,
He's
gonna
making
make
it. He's
You
getting
make
it
that.
like all the way in the net. It's going to be like good from well beyond 71.
They should just start doing that with their kickers in the preseason. They should be like, all right, you know what? Let's just see.
Laughs and Mike Vanderjagt.
Didn't he try 76 one time in an actual game?
Yeah, it was something like that, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, no,
Bo's gonna have 475 yards.
Bo Richter. Okay, it's pretty
Is
bold.
Bo.
Pretty bold, Julia. The preseason records not counting thing. Like, I get it. I understand why that's the case. But what a bummer that the 70-yard kick will not stand. Like, that's 4 yards better than any kick in history, and it's not going to be the record because it's the preseason.
Yeah, because like, are you bold enough to do it in a meaningful game, like where points are at a premium? 70 yards. Duval.
Liam was fired up though. Did you see him on the sideline? He was fist pumping. Yeah, he's like, yes, they love me now.
Like Monopoly money.
Super quick pause, and then I've got the Packers are in trouble. Stick around for that.
Ooh.
This is a tweet from Bill Huber. By the way, Bill Huber, Locked On Packers alumni before Peter Bukowski. Come back, Bill. We don't want Peter anymore. Come back. That's Ron's mortal enemy, Peter. All right, this is a tweet from Bill Huber. The Packers' top 6 receivers are Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Dontavian Wicks, Matthew Golden, and Savion Williams. After 2 more injuries yesterday, Golden is the last man standing. Also, Jordan Love is having a thumb procedure. Yeah, thumbs down. Thumbs down, Reggie, for Packers.
Those are important when you're a quarterback.
Thumbs?
Hot take.
That's your bold prediction.
My bold prediction is
it's his left. It's his left thumb though. Put some dirt on it and get out there.
So with all that, armed with that knowledge, Reggie, are the Packers in some trouble?
Yeah, they are. It's interesting because like I feel like they got rid of their last head coach who won a Super Bowl, and you can kind of argue that LaFleur is underachieved a bit. I mean, he's had a good roster. He had some prime Aaron Rodgers years and couldn't get to the Super Bowl. Now he's got the next coming with Jordan Love. Can't necessarily get over the top. They get Matthew Golden in the draft, but who's the number 1 wide receiver? What's going on there? I just don't. I don't know. I don't really get any like fear struck when you think about the Packers. I think they're maybe going in the other way, or maybe just kind of flatlining.
Yeah, Ron, is this when you lose 5 of your top 6 receivers in the preseason? I don't know. Some of them might be back for the regular season. I know Watson's hurt pretty badly. I don't know about the others. Seems like it's not. They're not getting the chemistry. Certainly, you talk about that a lot, Ron. The importance of building chemistry, and now Jordan Love won't be able to throw to Matthew Golden, stuff like that. Is that going to matter for them in the regular season?
Yes and no. I mean, they've had past, things with Jordan Love. It always feels, honestly though, it always feels like the Packers are a hodgepodge group. Like lately, like it never feels like they have a steady group of receivers that we can like. There's no more Jordy Nelsons to Aaron Rodgers. Like it just feels like they're always trying to figure out who the next receiver is. And then they finally draft one, and everybody thinks all is good, and then here we are. So no love lost. Like I think the NFL is what it is. I don't think any Vikings fans are going to cry tears for them. Cheese curds are in the streets of Green Bay right now with sad tears on them. But it's I mean, what do we got? 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, I guess, before real football has to be played. So I think they'll figure something out, hopefully, and some guys can come back. But yeah, it's I mean, but we said the same thing about Justin Jefferson and JJ McCarthy. Like, how is that going to look week 1 if he's back week 1?
The Packers over under is, I think it's 8.5. Yeah, they started out slowly last year, and they had that Jordan Love injury in week 1, and they kept the ship afloat with a backup quarterback in there. They've had injuries before. Matt LaFleur is a pretty good regular season coach. They always put up good win totals, but Julia, does this put the Vikings in some way above the Packers and how you would project this division?
No, I don't think so. Also, Jordan Love's supposed to be back next week, is he not?
Yeah, he's probably good for the regular season.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a dire situation over in Green Bay. I think both teams match up pretty well. And no, I wouldn't say that this gives the Vikings any kind of advantage over them, because the Vikings are also in a weird spot of unknown. Mm-hmm. We don't know what JJ McCarthy is going to look like during the regular season. And like you said, I mean, they're telling us that they're not concerned about Justin Jefferson missing week 1, but you never know what can happen between now and then. So no, I'm not saying, I don't think one team has one up on the other. I think it'll be a good rivalry series like it usually is.
Feels like no JJ against the Patriots, which that extends the injury out to 3 weeks, I think. If he doesn't play this week, doesn't play this weekend, if we don't see him until next week, that would be a 3-week injury. I was told like 1. I mean, wasn't that the initial diagnosis? So
they were like, "Oh, we're gonna check him out again next week," after it happened, and then we never heard anything else.
I'm okay with them being overly cautious. He's had a hamstring injury before. It's not dire right now. Season doesn't start for another few weeks still, so it's all good. It's all good.
I think you're probably right, Reg. The Vikings do play. They do downplay these preseason injuries, I think, sometimes a little too much for my liking. I'd like just kind of the honest take on it, or give us a timeline. What's wrong with giving us a timeline? We're going to hold Justin Jefferson out through joint practices, and then we'll ramp him back up again. That would be the way I would approach it if I were, running PR and if I were the head coach, but I'm not. I have the same last name as the PR guy, but I'm not the PR guy. I have the same first name as the other PR guy, but I'm not him either. And people get confused, and I get emails that are meant for them.
That's so funny.
So that's our show for the day. That's the Viking Squad show. We'll be back tomorrow with Arif Hassan, Luke Braun, Luke Inman, Ron Johnson from the Perch tomorrow, right? Doing the broadcast from the facility?
Today and tomorrow, potentially. I'll be out there today. People don't really let you know the whole schedule right away, but yeah, either today or tomorrow.
Outstanding. He's Ron Johnson. Check him out on the Ron Johnson Show. Had Ty Felton, Jalen Naylor, and Byron Murphy interviews yesterday. Really good stuff. And watch the 10 o'clock news. Is it 5, 6, and 10 at Care 11 with Reggie Wilson?
Maybe 4 o'clock too. You never know with this Twins news today. We might be in all the shows today.
Might be cutting in early. Yeah, I can't wait to go on Twitter and see how people are reacting to that one. Thanks a lot for watching, listening, commenting, subscribing, and we will talk to you next time.